Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle, big shit.
Check it. It's a unique hustle. It's your boy ECEO, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official Miss Jamaica. What's going on?
None, Madeo, all gone. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. When I mean all, I mean our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101. We'll pop up first in line, I guarantee you. But let me tell you, y'all always see us on the street and be like, man, love what y'all doing. How can we support the brand? This is how you can support a brand. Under each and every video on our YouTube channel, there's a link that says join our membership. Click that link, follow all the instructions, and you will see all the exclusive content that y'all been asking us, where's this interview? Where's that interview? It's in our membership. Members only. So become a member today. Thank you in advance.
Man, we here, man. It's going down today, man. We got a very special guest in the building. This guy right here, I don't know what, I'm not going to get interviewed today. I can tell you that right now. His style is unorthodox. He is, how you say it, this is a different type of cat we got here today, man. Mr. Chico Bean is in the building, man, for the second time, man.
Yes. How come you the only one get headphones? Like, that's unfair. You the only one get to listen to the intro song. Let me go and ball talk on them. Let me go talk that one-on-one. You in here bobbing and we just wondering what part the song is on because we got to look at you with the headphones. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be here, man. At this point, man, I really feel like y'all my Dallas parents, man, because the way you call me and talk to me, it be feeling like I'm talking to my daddy, and I only come down here for her, so you know don't nobody really fuck with daddy. You really do everything for mama.
That's
so
real.
You know what I mean? But your daddy got to be the one to call you, hey, boy, hey, man, look now. And you're always humble about, hey, now, I seen what I seen. I was just wondering. And I ain't putting no pressure on you or nothing, but I'd love for you to come down and check me out, man. I mean,
you dope, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I be watching you be working, bro. You everywhere. You always busy, man. I can't do nothing but applaud the fact, man, and just thanking God that I even got to be around you and to deal with you, bro. I don't think people give people their roses enough, man. You gotta deserve it.
Oh, well, thank you, man. I
keep
appreciate
working
that.
And
yes,
keep
sir.
working.
Gotta keep pushing, man. That's
and
what it's
that baby
about.
girl, let's get him.
I gotta ask, did you make it to Jamaica yet?
No,
Why not?
not yet. It's a long story.
We taking him with us.
It's a long story.
We taking him with us.
I can't put it all the way out there yet. I got my cameraman here, man, Alex Martin, man. This is one of the dopest cameramen in the DF in the world. But he's based here in DFW, and he's been with me all year. This is something that I really just started to invest in really this year, the videography aspect of it. Dad, what you got, a Nokia in here somewhere?
Put it on silent, please.
That was the loudest.
I know what that is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, stop it.
I mean, I'm just saying, this was a loud
because the last time when you were on here, you were like, oh yeah, I'm going to go this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Go. So that's why I'm like, I had to ask.
The investment that I've made into the content aspect, it wasn't something that I was necessarily into because I'm always moving and I'm engulfed in whatever it is I'm doing. I'm really, like he said, when I come to the city, I'm really touching the people. I'm really, going to the places that the people that live there go, the natives go. So I'm not gonna say I didn't see the value in documenting all of this.
Yeah, because you never used to back.
Yeah, I never used to. I just used to do it. And that was the best part of it for me, is that I got to actually live it. I'm still one of those type of people to where if it happened for me and I'm there, I don't need nobody else to see it. But this year, I put more into, having somebody with me, and Alex has been with me, and we've been documenting this whole year, doing documentary style work this whole year. And I just had a show at my hometown at the MGM this past Saturday.
How was that?
It was amazing. And we went past the cemetery and went to see my mom and a couple of other family members. But it's a very, very, very unique story about why I haven't been to Jamaica. So you guys will be seeing that coming soon.
Family and all of that.
Man,
I can't wait to hear all that stuff because I don't want to hear that.
I'll tell you off camera why, but
please.
I'm gonna keep it to myself right now.
So you have a documentary coming out?
Yes, ma'am.
This year? Well, not this year. Next year.
Yes, ma'am.
Early next year?
I don't know when. because we got a lot of stuff, man. We got a lot of stuff.
Do you know what
we put in the
platform
game.
you're trying to?
I'm gonna give it away. Yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just gonna put it out just because I want people to be able to experience. Not even something that like I said, it wasn't even something that I was invested into where I feel like I need to get a return on it.
Right.
It was just, it became fun for me because it was new. So me investing in that part of showing my career and showing my life is just like, okay, watching it back now, seeing it from that other vantage point, it's like, oh, I really do some amazing shit out here.
Did you cry? Did you get emotional when you're watching it back?
No, no. Because, you know, I like to let those things go in the moment. Like, I'm not one of those. I'm very in tune with my emotions in that regard to where I don't, if I feel it, if I got to cry, if I got to do whatever I'm going to do, wherever I'm at, it's going down because I know not to withhold that. Right. You know, it takes too much out of you. It disturbs your peace of mind a little bit too much for you to try to control those emotions. And I think as men, we need to do a lot better with that. But
I love that you say that because a lot of men always feel like, I'm a man, I can't cry. I can't cry in front of people type of thing.
I've been through too much trauma to try to withhold those emotions. Like I done lost too many people. I done, you know, witnessed too many people struggle through things for me to know that, you know, those tears it's like you resetting your body, man, because you got to go out here. God gonna give you some more shit to cry about long as you're here. So the more you hold it, whenever you finally let it out, boy, you gonna have a stroke. And ain't nobody gonna be able to do nothing for you. So, you know, it's best to let it out so you can at least be consolable, you know what I mean, throughout the process.
Right.
Wow. Man, like I said, I know already how important family is, though, for you to be turning those things over and really just trying to figure it out. I think that's important. I done had a lot of bumps and bruises with dysfunctionality in my family.
Yeah, I think we all have, and that's one of the craziest parts about being black in America.
Say that.
It's tough, man. It's tough. We all come from, you know, I was watching those videos people put up on Thanksgiving of their family going back and forth and arguing, and it's normal. Like, you expect that. And for us to be able to push through these things and kind of now with all of the talk of mental health and being prevalent now versus back in the day when I was growing up and when we were growing up, like, ain't nobody going to get no therapy. Shut your crazy ass up.
You get an ass whooping for therapy.
Yeah, exactly. You get whooped all the way.
But then people of in today's society will make you think twice about certain things, meaning like to us it was normal, but when now everybody's so mental, like you said, mental health, okay, just because it was normal for us, does that mean that it was right? Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, some of it was dead ass wrong. But some of it was right, you know, in regard to the way that you have to be in society, you know, the laws of the land. That's what I think our parents was more focused on, trying to enforce the laws of the land in the household, because they knew when you got outside, people got something waiting for your ass. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what it comes from. But a lot of that kind of, you know, was detrimental to us in functionality, because why was not allowed to be asked in the household. Like, that's something I always made sure my daughter was comfortable with asking me. I need you to understand why I'm telling you to do what it is you're doing. I don't need you to feel like you're going to get in trouble for trying to get clarification on me giving you direction.
But did she understand, though?
Yeah, she
as a child, even as a young child?
Yeah, because that was something that I instilled in her as a young child, because I tried to improve upon the things that I felt like my mom could have done better if she had the means to be able to make the decisions differently than what she had to do. She had to do what she had to do. Right. I was blessed to be in a position where I could do what I wanted to do in certain aspects, and she didn't have that luxury. So it would be remiss of me not to apply that to my child. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I've always allowed her to ask me why and to question me about things, because I need you to understand that I'm not above you asking me why I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing in regards to being your father. Now, there's certain things that are we not going to compromise on that, but she knows what those things are. Okay. And that's been established. But anything outside of that, it's whatever. If I tell you to do something, why I got to do that, Daddy? Well, this is why you have to do it. Mm-hmm. And just that little piece of the difference between the way we were raised and how I feel like we should raise our kids is something that, I think has changed because of the mental health conversation.
I felt the same way growing up, but when I met my first daughter and I went through a situation, I changed my mind from that.
Time out. When you met, you said that like a nigga. When you met your first daughter?
Chastity. You're talking about my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Which is still my
okay.
daughter,
All right,
too.
there you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
she raised
see,
her since she was
I was
little.
just about to say, you are the only woman ever that done had the baby and never met her.
Like somebody just told
Yeah,
her.
you know what I mean? What type of situation that happened with that? But yeah.
So I met her when she was 8, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I remember one day, he called me and said, okay, we're going to go somewhere. And I comb her hair, give her a bath, whatever. So I combed her hair and about to give her a bath. But she got mad and she's like, oh, I'm going to let you know what I think one day when I get older. I know I can't tell you now. And I'm looking at her like, because in my mind, I'm going back to my mama would have snatched you up so quick and you would have gotten it, whatever. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Let me explain certain things to you. So let's talk and have a dialogue why you feeling this way. She felt like, because once I came in play, I started getting all the things that she probably thinks she should have gotten, like all the jewelry, all the this, all the that. All of a sudden, she feel like she wasn't getting all of that attention anymore, but I'm getting it. And I'm like, whereas all this, I
At
do
8
work.
years old?
At 8 years old.
Man.
Yes.
You got
She
some
was doing-
advanced kids.
She was doing her
Right.
thing, man. She
So-
just was used to being with me by herself. You like your daughter,
Yeah,
man.
but see, that's the thing. She doesn't have to share me with anybody. I mean, she has
That's
a
it.
brother. You know, her mother has another child, but over here, it's all about her. It's always been all about her. But also, I think that she understands through me teaching her the value of, you know, being blessed. And I think a lot of us don't teach our kids the value of being blessed. Like, if you get a blessing, it's very, very valuable, you know, and you got to be able to help them understand that these aren't guaranteed to you. So you got to share your blessings, because a lot of people don't get them, but they can, you know, blessings are so big that you can break off a piece of your blessing for the people that you care about. And that's something that I taught her through the trips that I take every year with her and her friends on her birthday.
Dope.
Just
Yeah, I
showing
seen
her.
one of those in
Yeah,
Reese.
just showing her. We went to Hawaii
Yeah,
this
I've
year
seen
for her
that.
16th
That was
birthday.
dope.
And just showing her that, you know, we have been blessed, but you being able to share these type of things is something that's very important, because you are blessed as well. I mean, just the gifts that she has, the things that God has blessed her with, you're always going to be in a position to give back. You know, I just know that about my child already. So that's something that I've always taught her. So I don't think that she, even though she doesn't have to share me with anybody, I don't think that she's selfish in that regard, because I've always made sure that she's had to be a part of, you know, the give back process.
sure.
But
of
she's old
being
enough
blessed.
now where
now she gets it.
Yeah, she
right.
definitely
You know what I mean? She
But
get
at
it.
8 years old, and when I was trying to explain to her, she could not get it. No matter how much I broke it down like a kid form, she couldn't understand it. So after that, I was just like, you know what? I'm never going to explain to a child ever again, because I said so. That's what it is. End of argument. Move on.
You can always get to that, but you know, at least you feel good about the fact that you tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was back and forth, and then she moved with us when she was
Right.
13 and 14, and she stayed with us the whole time. So they got a dope relationship now, and they talk more than me. I don't talk to none of them. She talked to them.
That sound crazy.
I don't talk to them like
That
her.
sound
right?
crazy. No, say you don't talk to them like her. Don't say I don't talk to none of them.
That's the old school way.
Ain't no old school way. Much as you call me, nigga, ain't no reason for you to be calling me more than you call your kids.
No, man. No, I talk to them, but not like that. They work. They busy, bro.
Okay,
They
see, that's what it is.
busy.
They don't talk to your ass.
That's kind of it too.
That's what it is.
No, that's
you get to
kinda
that
it too,
point.
though, right?
And it was I told the girls that on this trip, you know, because they 16 and watching them. I had them since they was babies. We've been doing this since they was little girls. So to see them developing into their womanhood is crazy. And I had to let them know, like, hey, I know y'all getting to a point where y'all starting to plan what it's gonna look like without me being here, and I'm cool with that.
That's hard.
Just know that, you know, whenever y'all get together, I got it for the rest of your life.
Wow.
Raising-
Y'all ain't never got to worry about flights and hotels,
Wow.
because I don't want them to have to suffer through what I watch a lot of women go through in relationships. Like, women be hating each other for real.
Of course.
And I want them to not have to, if I can help it, even in me being absent in presence, in physical presence of them being on the trips with them and being a part of whatever they have going on. One of them, such and Mia can't go because she got to work, or, you know, such and such can't go because her boyfriend said he ain't paying for this. Y'all ain't never got to worry about none of those aspects coming in. I got it all for the rest of the time. y'all good. Every year, y'all get together
That's
during this
hard.
time
I like
and y'all
that.
spend time together and y'all go places, because as y'all become adults and y'all get into that womanhood for real, there's some shit out here. And y'all gonna need each other, you know what I mean, in ways that I can't be there for you as your parent and their parents can't be. Y'all gonna have to be there for each other in ways that y'all are establishing now. And you might not understand it at this point, but once y'all get to that point, you'll see why what you guys are
They have a
doing is so
sisterhood.
important. Why being friends for a long time is such a great accomplishment, because most, especially women, man, every birthday is a different friend group.
That's right.
You know, and it's a reason for that, because the camaraderie isn't there. So I try to make sure that I keep them in a space to where that camaraderie stays, and and they know how to problem solve, and conflict resolution and all that happens amongst each other. So when y'all become adults, it shouldn't be no issue. And the biggest issue that comes when women become adults is they just, you know, I gotta do so much. I gotta work. I gotta take care of this. I gotta take care of that. So in my mind, if I can just eliminate that part, it makes it easier, you know, for you to be able to move around.
You're a thinker, dude.
You know what I mean?
Raising
Definitely
a
a
young
thinker.
woman, raising a young lady from, you know, birth all the way up. Give me one thing that, because you have a lot of single dads out here who are raising, and they're still young girls. What can they look forward to that you can start telling them, hey, prepare yourself for this? What would that instance be?
Prepare yourself for what he going through. That they don't be one to talk to you all the time. You know what I mean? Like, they go from being your baby to a lady, you know, and especially with little girls. I only can speak from that perspective.
Right.
And, you know, that can kind of hurt you a little bit as a dad, because, you know, your baby girl is always on your hip, you know, daddy, 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 daddy. But then they get to a point where they start to, you know, venture out and become young women, and you have to deal with certain things that you probably haven't prepared yourself for as a father. Me, I'm glad that once I realized that, okay, I got a daughter, this is what it is, immediately I started to put myself in that mental space of all the things, so I can kind of work myself through the parts that I have to work through to not shock my daughter when she comes to me with anything.
Okay.
Like, that's the most important aspect of me as a father. With my daughter, I have 2 rules with my baby. It's always been these 2 rules. Rule number 1, there's no such thing as I don't know. That's not an acceptable answer. You don't get to tell me you don't know why you did something. You're a black woman in America. You're a triple minority. You have to be able to explain yourself no matter what your decision making is. You have to be able to say why you did what you did and be clear and concise about that no matter what it is, good, bad, or indifferent. So there's no such thing as I don't know. You have to let me know why you making the decisions or why you want to make the decisions you make. Rule number 2, come to me first. Don't let me hear nothing about my baby that I should hear from my baby. Ever since she was, to where she can talk, that was the first conversations we had. So within those 2 rules, I have to make myself understanding of the fact that if I am implementing that with her, whatever she comes to me with, I got to be able to sit there and talk to her about it without getting emotional, no matter what it may be. And for me, that helps with the things that I see a lot of fathers go through. Like, I joke about it on stage, but I'm like, man, if you got a daughter, you got to know one day that pussy going in the game. It's going in the game one day. Every woman sitting in this room is somebody's baby. Imagine if your mama knew what you was doing to that nigga. It's going to happen. So your job is to make sure that you can delay it for as long as you possibly can and prepare them for what is really waiting on them once they get in the game. Because once you checked in, you can never check back out. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing that I made my daughter understand, and just having that type of talk with her and knowing that, hey, if you want to make that decision, it's going to be yours to make. But just know, whatever you do make it, you only get to make it one time. So whoever you pick, that's it. That's the one. That's the one that's going to always be able to say he's the one. So if you can't stand on the mountaintop and be like, yeah, I did this with him and this is my person, then don't do it. Because you don't need to be out here doing anything you got to deny.
I think that's a good way to look at it. We got a 19-year-old at Brown, and I talk to her all the time. Now, I do talk to her a lot. The other one's grown. Me and her too much alike, right?
Yeah, y'all just
we
alike.
We look alike. We trip alike. We gonna talk fly. But that's my dog. You know,
That's your twin right
well, oh yeah, she been through some stuff with me too, so that you know how that is. You've been with your daughter, so it's definitely a lot different when you look at it from the one. She been with us the whole time and then the other one, me and her, we was coming through when I ain't have a clue a lot. Now, they don't have a book for this, man. We make a lot of mistakes we don't admit to a lot of times. We go back and look at things and say, man, you know, I did do that. And you just try to make every day a better day when it comes to parenting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because it ain't no book.
It ain't no book, man. And if it was, they need to burn that motherfucker, because whoever wrote it was full of shit.
Wow, man. Go ahead.
Has your daughter come to and introduced her boyfriend to you?
Oh,
yet?
yeah.
He talked about that last time a little bit. It's the same guy?
No, it's a different one now. Her and the last one broke up.
They broke up.
I mean.
Did any of them... Because, you know, men always say, or always hear this saying that women tend to date someone who is just like that.
No. Not at that age, at least. You know what I mean? Who I was when I was 16 years old versus who she is at 16 years old are two polar opposite human beings. So if she walked in with somebody like me, I'd have a problem. Like, immediately, me and Buddy gotta really have, hey, Slim, come here. I gotta holler at you because I know what time you on. But no, it was so crazy. She came to the 85 South show that we did in Birmingham, and he FaceTimed her, and we was talking, you know, back and forth and joking, and she answered the FaceTime. She was like, hey, and I grabbed the phone, and you could just see Buddy was like...
Oh yeah, I ain't tripping with this. I ain't got time for this.
Hi, sir. How you doing, sir? I'm like, man, calm your ass down, nigga. You know what it is. What's up with you? Because I don't want to make you feel like you're doing something wrong for liking my baby.
Right.
I understand exactly why you like this little beautiful little woman right here. Mm-hmm. And I am comfortable and confident enough to know that I've taught her that she's going to represent herself in a way to where I don't have to worry about how you treat her, because she's only going to allow you to treat her the way she wants to be treated.
I like that.
She knows to remove herself from anything that makes her feel uncomfortable. So I don't have a problem with meeting nobody. Now, if she was, like I said, if she walked in with a nigga like me, man, hey, buddy, man, hey, Slim. Because I was a different 16-year-old.
How were you at 16?
I was a grown man in my mind, because I've always been the man of my house. I was the man of my house from the time we had a house. Like, as soon as we moved out of my Aunt Mary house into that apartment up the street, I was the man of my house. I had to wake up, get my little brother ready to go to school. I had to walk us to school. I had to make sure he get home safe. I was responsible. If nothing else, I had that responsibility.
But
I had a whole...
treat women?
You say what?
How did you treat women at 16?
I mean, how did I treat... Oh, man, horribly. I was a nigga. That's why I can be the way that I am now, because a lot of the things that a lot of dudes are getting into as grown men, I was doing as a teenager, because I was always faster. You know, my life was very, very fast. I literally had my own money at 16. I ain't had no choice. It wasn't nobody my mama wasn't taking care of me. I lived with her, so technically looking back on it, nigga, you was a little boy. But in my mind, and as far as the environment that I was in, my peers, I was a grown man. So, man, my girlfriend in high school was, 25 years old, working at the bank, 2 cars. I'm in the 11th grade. So, you know, me with my daughter, ain't no way. Nah, I couldn't see it. Not nobody like me. I don't even know if it is any niggas like me left. I'm the only one now, I like to think. I like to think that that cloth is not in production anymore, but in the case that it might be, no, sir.
That's crazy. So, okay, I see a lot of comedians branching off into acting. I know you've had your, spill with it. Can we expect anything coming up soon? Or maybe having you go ahead and start directing your own film?
Oh yeah, that's what I've been doing this year, man. I've been, doing the other side of the game, being on the other side of the camera. I went to school for that though, so I've always known that side of the game, the videography, the editing and all that. I had to get a degree in it, so I know all of that.
Wow.
But that's just not the side of the camera that I chose to embark upon when I took this on as a journey. But I'm definitely opening myself up, to more opportunities that I had not necessarily turned down, but I had postponed, if you will, because people have been trying to get me to do these type of things for a long time, but I had to get to where I wanted to get to in regards to being the entertainer that I wanted to see and wanted people to see when they saw me. And now that I feel like I have done a lot of those things, now I can explore more and be more adventurous in my sentiment with my career. So the acting is all the way in pocket. Next year, you're going to see me do a lot of cool stuff that you probably wouldn't expect me to do. I say that.
Do you think you can do like an action film?
I can do whatever.
You can do whatever.
I can do anything.
Because I know you have the comedy side of acting
I can
down,
do anything. Like I can do anything, and that's the cool part. People still don't know. People still don't know. Like I have a thing that I've been writing about 9/11 in DC, the actual day of 9/11 in DC.
Really?
And I play a police officer in that.
Wow.
I'm one of the police that well, and that's the thing. A lot of people know the story of 9/11, but only from the New York perspective. Nobody talks about what was going on in the nation's capital at that same time, because the Pentagon got hit by a plane too. So the city was in chaos as far as the structural aspects of the city, the government, everything was chaotic.
Where were you?
I was in DC.
At home when it happened?
No, I was in school.
Okay.
In high school when it happened.
Right.
So just telling the story of what that night looked like, because there was no police to be found. Nowhere. In the city, it was one of the greatest nights of all time. I'm talking about Slim. Oh my God, man. It's just telling that story is something that, I always wanted to do, because people don't see it from that vantage point. And I play a police officer in that. Yeah, I'm doing a whole bunch of cool stuff. Did you already finish
write it and everything?
For the most part, yeah. You know what I mean? It's pretty much done. Yes, man.
I can't wait to see all the things.
Oh yeah, it's coming. You're coming. I'm excited, and even like I said, down to the documenting all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that is something that's new for people as well.
Right.
You've never really get to see me in that light. You get to hear me talk about it. I've been blessed with the gift of communication, so I know how to explain myself and the things that I do very well. But actually, just putting a visual behind it and letting people consume it on their own time and in their own manner is something they've never really seen from me. So it's going to be a lot of visuals coming.
How much did when you look at DC from when you was young to now, when you go and you check out everything, what's the differences, the big differences that you see when you was 11 or when you
people
when you moved into that apartment?
White people.
There wasn't no white people.
White people.
There was none.
I tell people all the time, DC was Chocolate City. It's called Chocolate City because it was 80% black.
Really?
You didn't see white people. I never went to school with a white person. From pre-K to 12th grade, not one.
Wow.
I had one white teacher, and he only stayed for 3 months.
Everywhere, even downtown where we stayed at.
Everybody was black. The police officers, you had a few white police officers, but the people whose businesses you frequented in your neighborhood, it was always a black man that owned a convenience store or some sort of store. Your whole community was black. It was a black city. So now with the gentrification, like I think of all the cities that have been gentrified, Chocolate City has been hurt the most because the name, our namesake was being known for being a black city. So it breaks my heart, man, to go back, and we just went to my basketball court around my way, and it was white people. I put the video on Instagram. It was just white people up there just shooting air balls. And it's like, it's a whole nother world. It's like, I can't even believe that in the amount of time that has happened, for you to be able to move all of those people out of there like that. And
where have they moved to, though?
The outskirts or away, wherever they end up. You know what I mean? And you think about how easy it is to be able to uproot people who don't have anything.
That's right.
If you don't have nothing, I can come to, hey, man, here go $5,000.
I'm going to take it.
And you're going to be like, I give it to $5,000 in a Section 8 voucher. Oh, we up, baby. Not even knowing that you can ready to leave a house that's going to be worth $1.3 million in 8 years.
But it's not even, when we think about legacy now and ownership, but then some of these people can't afford to even think about it because they got to feed their kids.
It doesn't exist. And that's one of the biggest problems in our community. And I saw that firsthand in growing up in DC, with it being such a big, predominantly black city. Like my Aunt Mary's house that I was just talking about, 3531 10th Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. that house, when she got it in she got it in 89? It was like maybe $90,000 for a 3-story, like kind of like a brownstone looking house. That house sold for $1.2 million in 2017. And it's like the fact that we aren't in position to even hold on to something like that, because it's unfortunate, man. It breaks my heart, because everywhere you go, it's the same story for real.
The same story.
You know, I tell people all the time, when it comes to black people in America, we all in the same movie. The script is the same. The characters are a little different. You know what I mean? The way you deliver the lines may be a little different, but we all are acting in the same movie. Niggas.
That's real.
And that's just what it is. Like, I was thinking about the other day, this how difficult it's been for niggas with the last name Brown. Them niggas done had it rough. Ain't been a famous nigga named Brown that done had it easy in America. You ever thought about that? Name them. Jim Brown, James Brown, Bobby Brown, Chris Brown, Antonio Brown, Kwame Brown,
oh my God,
Judge Joe Brown. All them niggas that had it rough, man. It's hard to be a black man in America, man. It's tough.
Man,
it's
you
tough,
hilarious,
man.
bro.
Browns done been through some shit, no pun intended, but man, listen. For real.
Done been through some shit.
Man, listen. And then when you think about the crazy part of it, the Brown, like, we brown, it's fucked up for brown crazy, people in the man. Listen, if you got that black skin, man, they call it black, but it's brown.
Wow.
That brown skin, man, it's rough being black in America, man. And it's like, I don't even, I don't know if it's possible to even foresee what it could look like for us in any other way, because it's been this way the whole time.
Because people always say, with all of these interracial relationships and people making, brown babies everywhere nowadays, is it going to ever be a place where we are going to be the minority? We should be the majority after a while doing all of that. I mean,
that's the scariest part of it. Like, there's nowhere in the world, as they call it now, FBAs, foundational black Americans, you know what I mean? Like, they'll tell you from Jamaica, you not a founder. This nigga's a FBA, with all these new terms. They it's crazy how they got
I never heard that before.
Yeah, it's one of those just pronouns that they coming out with. Everybody got to have a pronoun now. It's like a gang, you know what I mean? But there's nowhere for black people in America, in the world, where we can go and be like, finally, I'm straight. Like, I ain't got to worry about nothing over here. There's nowhere on this planet where black people from America can go and seek solitude from all of the bullshit. Everywhere we go in the world. And the crazy part is, when you leave America, you don't even really be black. Now you're an American.
Yeah.
You're not even black anymore. So it's fucked up when you go to another country and they treat you like an American, and then you come back to American and they treat you like a nigga. It's like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Because if there was a place that we can go to that was, like base, we always it as black people in America. We ain't never, all right, I'm on base. You can't get me now. We always in play. So if there was a place that we can actually have that was a safe space for us, I think maybe we could go there and kind of just not have to worry about nothing and be able to develop a plan. But being as though there's no place like that in the world for us, it's hard to see how we can ever really transition out of this position in this space, if you ask me.
And America is the only place that does that, because when you said that, I never thought about it before, because everybody here will say, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. But then when I go home, I'm still a Jamaican. So, but when you said that,
when you go home, you're Jamaican.
I'm still Jamaican.
You're a Jamaican person. Right. If a person from Nigeria is over here, I'm Nigerian. When you go home, you're a Nigerian. As a black American, we come here, you're a nigga. You go anywhere else, you're an American.
Right.
So we don't have if they treated us like America, I always joke about this. If white people and black people got along, this really would be a motherfucker. Yeah. We'd be all right if we figured that out. But for some reason, we can't figure it out. And when we go to these other places, they looking at us like we have figured. figured it out. It's crazy.
That's kind of what Muhammad Ali was on when he was talking about, you know, having to go to war or do something with some other, you know, he didn't feel like he felt like he didn't have a place to even be doing all that.
No,
so he was right. He was on point.
You're right. It's nowhere for us to go, man. And I think that we're able to be uprooted so quickly in these communities that we come from. I mean, like, it's so crazy to go back home and see all of these neighborhoods tore down that so many niggas died for and are serving life terms for. You are in jail forever for a place that is a Trader Joe's now.
Damn. Man, I got to ask you about, I got to get into your comedy side, man. You such a comedian, man. You here this weekend, kicking it. Arlington.
I was at Addison last time. I'm at Arlington this time.
Arlington Improv.
That's how big Dallas is.
Yeah.
Dallas so big, they got 2 of the same club.
And they be selling out.
And they sell out.
That's this
everything's big in Texas, man. If you've never been down here, you watching this. Everything it's amazing down here. Texas is the only place in America that can secede from the Union and stay afloat.
Wow. Bro, I trip out off of it because when I did Ali Sadiq and then I did Bubba Dub, brought them on the same time, went to both of them show, all this stuff was selling out. Each one of them was selling out
Usher
every
was in
night.
Town that weekend.
Usher was in town.
That's how selling out.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because it's Texas, man. This is his own country. Texas is his own country. If you've never been down here, this is not America. This is Texas.
That's the way they act too.
This is Texas.
That's exactly the way they act.
It's not America. Texas is in America, but it's Texas.
Man, so your show is this Thursday through Sunday?
Yes, Thursday through Sunday at the Arlington Improv.
That's crazy. That's all them days. That's good.
Yeah, I just, man, we came to y'all show, man. We came from Miami. We came early to get there. We came to 85 South show when we last seen you. Y'all killed it. Y'all handed out lawn chairs in that hole. Man, listen, man, I don't know what y'all had going. Y'all was handing shit out at the end. It blew my mind. I ain't never seen nothing like that. I was like, man, these niggas is crazy, but this is the hardest thing I ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
like, y'all do that every time?
Yeah, we always do. You know, it's an experience. You
know,
it
always chairs or is something different every time?
I mean, it's something different every time on the stage.
It was beer. Yeah,
sometimes they be having all types of crazy shit on stage when we get on stage. Like, who the fuck put this up here? Why do we need a shower rod? What is this up here for?
No, they did not.
Man, listen, it's ridiculous some of the items they place on stage. We be looking like, who the fuck put this up here? But yeah, it's an experience. And that's the beauty of it. Like, you have me here individually this weekend.
Yeah.
Fly somewhere individually, low somewhere individually, and you get to have that experience. But when we come together, it's a completely different experience. We could literally all be in the same place doing shows at the same time, and then come together and you get a completely different show.
We them ones
tour.
I asked Karlous about him when he was on there because that tour was going on when he was on last, and y'all was all coming out individually. He was like, they not gonna get all us out there at one time. We all come out. Yeah. It's a different bag.
It's different. Yeah, it's a different bag for sure. But you know, to be able to exercise both those muscles is a blessing.
It's a blessing.
You know what I mean? And most people don't ever get to see what that second one look like. That one that we do at the 85 South, because everybody's so individualistic in this game. Yeah. You ain't got time to be trying to figure out how to let the next man, do whatever on your time. It got to be all about me, baby. Flash.
Yeah.
My album, It's Lonely at the Top, coming out next week. Like, it's one of them type of situations. So, for us, it's beautiful that we can all go individually and do everything that we do individually. But the coming together part is the magic. That's the super magic, because, we all individually who we are. And nobody needs anybody. We are making a decision because we love each other to do this. Like, we really partners, we brothers. So that's the reason why it works the way it does.
Man, DC, man, I seen just his behind the scene of what he done right after that we came to the back with y'all. The way he carry himself, bro. What he done to isolate himself, I ain't gonna speak on it, but just made me have so much respect for how he handled his business as a man, a family man. You know what I'm saying? A brother that's a dude who know, hey man, it's something way bigger than this, what we doing. And I know who to appreciate for it. Man, I thought that was live.
Oh yeah, it's definitely live. And we all have those. We all have those and that's another reason why it works that well, because we all respect each other's sentiment in that way. Whatever you need to do, bro, to get yourself together, whatever you need to do to stay in pocket with what it is you have going on when nobody's looking, we gonna support that. No matter what it is, because that helps you be at your best, and that's what we doing this for, to help each other elevate, to prop each other up, to give each other strength and energy, knowledge, to protect one another, all of those things. So when you see him go do that, we make sure that he has time to go do whatever he needs to do in that moment. We make time for Los to be where he need to be able to get his mind right. They know I'm going to walk off somewhere and be gone walking around in a circle, but they allow me to do that. Everybody is supportive of each other in that way. It's no protocol on how we do what we do, because we know that it's God that made it work. So for us to try to put those parameters in, we stepping on something that we ain't got no hand in regards to the energy part and the spiritual part of what it is we've been blessed to do. So that's why it works the way it does.
Wow, you guys have such a dope chemistry, and then even the show, even when you look at 85 South, I got upset at some stuff that came out, some different lists that came out, and it didn't include y'all or anybody, at certain places when you look at it demographically. And I was like, man, how they not gonna put 85 South on there? I just was really totally.
You can't be mad at that, man.
I know I gotta.
I
can't be
mad
mad.
at that. You
I was
can't
mad
be
when I was like,
mad at
man,
that,
this
man.
dude, he dudes
They
the
just put
dopest,
out
bro.
a 50 greatest rappers list, and Jadakiss wasn't on it.
Oh my
God! They put out a 50 greatest rappers list, and Cool G Rap wasn't on it.
Scarface was on it.
Scarface wasn't on it.
None of them.
You mean to tell me Cool G Rap and Scarface ain't on it? Now are you serious? Scarface, now the funeral is over. And all this is a dried up. Niggas in the coop, getting fired up. Ready to pull the pistol on the niggas that shot my homie. And now for an eye, so now your life is what you owe me. He didn't make it. Cool G Rap, when the gas reveal, you cats get peeled, and that's the deal. Fuck the bitch ass and switch fast niggas that lack the real. When the slugs burst, you rap me aiming at your mug. First niggas is bloodthirst, we'll see who get plugged worse. I dug earth. Like, come on, man.
Didn't make it?
He didn't get on there.
But that's crazy.
It's ridiculous, man.
So,
it's ridiculous. No Fabulous. They didn't put Fab on there. That's
the kind of stuff that really be ticking me off, because I know the impact that that was, and that what it had, and how this can look if you don't do this right and shape it right. Mm-hmm. But we got to figure out ways to make sure the truth, some type of truth, is being told about all these artists, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's blasphemous not to have Project Pat on the list.
Come on, man.
You mean to tell me it's 50 people that rap better than Project Pat? Project Pat is one of the most underrated artists in hip-hop history. Mother come up to me, was like, Project Pat a preacher now. Yeah, that nigga been a preacher. He been preaching to me since Getty Green came out. He been a preacher. I've been listening to him preach for years. Pat is one of the most prolific, and no matter which way you slice it in the game, Pat is top tier. Storytelling, unique style, beat selection. No matter what you look at when it comes to Project Pat, he's one of the best ever.
One of the best.
And I mean, just the way
Project
that he was. I mean, that alone, you couldn't steal his style. No. He had a style so unique you couldn't steal it. Like I was listening. What was I listening to the other day? Drive By.
Yeah,
and just the way that he painted that picture on that song, especially the last. Not only weak niggas like to start bullshitter, but in the streets, couple hollow points will hit ya. I'm watching out for you ones that are shiesty. I'm low on cheese, so I might pull a heisty. I know you punk motherfuckers wanna test me because your bitch like to bow down and bless me. Don't give a damn, get your mama house shot up and have her stiff like some coke that's been rocked up. You fucked up, and now you gotta pay the cost. Cause you's a hoe, and I'm a motherfucking boss. Automatic, when I aim, you say bye-bye. Your family sad you got killed in the drive-by. And all you ones that be talking all that yang-yang. What you gonna do when that thing's in your face, man? It's Project Pat with the 12-gauge strap, y'all. I blow your chest out your motherfucking back, dog. Like, man, listen.
Man, stop playing, man.
Slim.
Boy, you slick with it.
Slim. That right, that nigga would do that. There's no way he did that shit. Like, you couldn't tell me it was certain people that was so prolific with them words behind this microphone that you couldn't tell my generation that them niggas wasn't exactly what they said they were. Now, I've learned in getting in the game that it's all entertainment. I understand that now, but there's still certain people that you can't convince me didn't really do some of that shit they said. Yeah. Pimp, man. I mean, listen, man, when Pimp C and Master P.
When that nigga say, I bought my first key from a baby mama brother.
That was too specific for him not to have done that. That was too specific. Like, I tell you, one of the roughest times in my life when Master P and Pimp C was going at it, man.
Yeah, I remember that,
man. That broke my heart because them are two of my favorite rappers of all. Listen, Master P was a god to us. Yeah. And as young niggas, listening to Master P, the first time we heard Time to Check My Crack House. Ooh-wee. Yo, Pete, gotta get. It's time to start checking shit. I'm the wrong nigga in the project to be fucking with. Man, listen, man. We was like, this nigga is
different type of
the dope man.
Ooh, different type of dude.
He's the dope man. And it's like, when that shit was going on, man, I never forget. See, a lot of people weren't as in tune with those two artists as I was. But when they were going back and forth, man, it hurt me so much because I remember when Pimp say, you know, we don't want your records or your motherfucking clothes. Your shoes ain't tight and your phony at your shows. It was like, oh, I know who this nigga talking about, man. And then when I heard the story of what happened, it was like, oh my God, I hated that. Yeah. But that just goes to show like how prolific this music has always been. And for them to omit that level of
come on, man. P wasn't on there
greatness on these lists that they be making is blasphemous, if you ask me,
so
man.
You can't be mad at me for getting mad because 85 South wasn't on the list.
No, I'm not mad at you, but you can't be mad from a perspective of it's opinion.
I get it.
It's somebody's opinion. It's subjective, and you can't be mad at somebody's opinion. But the same way we're expressing our opinion now, I'm mad that your opinion is what it is, and you can't be mad at me for that. You know what I'm saying? So, but we personally don't take it. You know, we know it's just something about when you do things a certain way that people are always going to be, you know, quick to overlook it because when you're humble and
you guys doing something that ain't never been done before,
and when you're doing something that ain't never been done before,
that's why I be tripping.
People don't know how to receive it. You know what I mean? Because it's so outside of the mold of what's normal in entertainment, especially. But you can't take it personal because, you know, if you do, then you'll end up becoming the villain because, you know, you'll end up Kanye West.
I've heard that.
If you constantly got to tell motherfuckers how great you are, no matter how great you are, eventually they get sick of hearing it. But if you don't say something, they'll just overlook you. So it's a you know, it's double-edged in how you got to deal with it, but you got to find that cool spot in the middle and just keep pushing forward because if you're looking for recognition, you're going to be looking for a long time.
I'm not looking for myself, but like when I see what like even that Pimp C thing about quit hating the South and just the way that things were looked at differently. Right. Some of those rappers, like I said, I talked to Big Mike just a few weeks ago. Big Mike, different ones who had them runs who never get mentioned. We got to mention those guys, man. Yeah. Mr. Mike, any of those guys, man. It's a bunch of them.
It's a lot of guys that get lost in translation too. Them, you look back on all them old No Limit covers or them Suave House covers and all them feature names of them people who you don't know who they are or where they at right now.
It was a bunch of them.
You know what I mean? So I feel like in acknowledge, all of that, like you know them those records like that where you see all of these different people's names who, and that's what I commend you guys for doing because you bring a lot of these people in, and I feel like if we acknowledge the main character, if you will, or the main stars, if we stop omitting that style or that type of music, then you give an opportunity for those guys who was those features to be able to reemerge because now there's a reason to want to talk to them. There's it's a space for them to be able to come in and tell they part of the story. You know what I'm saying? It's a nigga on a Cash Money song. What's my man name? Cadillac. I think his name was Cadillac on that I can't think of the name of it right now, but he said, what he say on that? Cash money, so is nothing. I ain't selling for shit. If it's a Bentley that I want, then it's a Bentley I get. I want to know why he said that. I want to talk to Slim, but you know, just not having that light being shined on that era or certain artists from those eras kind of dwindles so much history that we can be getting if we had the right people making a list, in my opinion.
You think about the guys, even the local guys, man. I was just talking to Big Tuck the other night, man. He got
Southside is the
realest. Like that's one of the hardest songs. You come to Dallas, you gon' hear that song.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're not for to come to Dallas and go to a party and they trying to turn it up and you're not gonna hear that Southside is the
and everybody gonna go
microphone
crazy.
blizzard. Man,
I'm gonna make them feel it.
I'm about to find That boy be going in, man. And the thing is, those songs, those different places, you know, I be trying to make sure to bring light to those guys. Cause like I said, man, I know it's a difference. And I know people demographically gonna love who they love. We just gotta show love to the ones in our areas
all
and
the
just
way.
do what we supposed to do.
But you got a lot of people who do get that love when you come down and see these guys locally and you get in their town and you see this is the biggest person in the town.
Yeah.
But it's just that nationwide getting, you know, that
It's
nationwide,
different,
it's a different grind, you know what I mean?
different.
But then you still, once you get there, you have people who've made it. Like another person who doesn't get the type of recognition that I feel like they should get in the music industry is Trick Daddy.
Man, Trick hard, man.
Trick Daddy was a superstar, Slim. Like for a generation of people, for a lot, especially people who come out of Florida and just that bottom half of the South, and you know what I mean, like.
He did that song with them kids, man. That was a hard-ass
he was the
song,
first
man.
one that did
Them
it.
kids,
I
bro.
don't know
them kids, man.
what this world's gonna
hitting that hoe,
bring,
too.
but I know one thing.
Yeah.
That this is the life for me. Then they come, baby, cause I'm a thug. Yeah, like that. Trick is really a lot of people's, like what Boosie is to Louisiana, and Trick is to that to a lot of people in Florida. Just if you just want to just narrow it down to Florida, like Trick don't get the recognition that he deserved, man. Slim really had that. Nah, nigga, you had never heard nothing sound like that before you heard that, and now as a grown man, looking back on it, like I realized like a lot of that music really was timeless, because if you put it on now, it sound like it could have just came out recently, especially now, nigga. Like that shit was a prolific way to explain how niggas and bitches go at each other. Like it was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? So I think that Trick, it's so many people in it's the South especially that don't get the credit they deserve. So that's why Pimp C was so important, because he was the one that really brought it to the forefront. That, hey nigga, what's y'all hating the South? Well, fuck you, nigga. We don't want to drive your car, nigga. We don't want to fuck your bitches, nigga. We got all that down here in the side. So for sure,
I want to switch it to something real quick, because with you and your jokes and being on stage, because I've watched your show a couple times and I love to see you on stage, and I know that you touch on anything your heart's desire when you on stage.
Yes, ma'am.
Aren't you ever scared to get canceled touching on the wrong topic, or somebody being mad at you?
I'm scared of getting locked up for touching on the wrong person. Fuck the topics. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that you can't, I come from a different type of era, like talking and having dialogue and conversation. That's just what I was raised in. I don't have no gray area in my background. We always was black and white in the Bean household. So I'm always going to be comfortable talking about whatever, whether I agree or disagree with it. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like the shit that I'm making sure that I'm cognitive of and cognizant of the most is, how I treat people. You know what I mean? How my attitude is, how I am, when I'm out in public, how my carry myself. All of that is what counts to me, because I know what it feels like, and I know myself well enough to know that, the energy that I come from is not conducive to where I am now in my life in any way, shape, or form. So that's what I'm more concerned with. I'm more concerned with, even if you don't like something that I said, for me not to let you say something to me to make me want to put my hands on you. You know what I mean? And that's something that I think is more important to me than actually trying to be careful about what I talk about, because I'm not being malicious. I think maliciousness is a big aspect. You can tell when somebody is trying to get a rise out of people. Right. I'm never doing that. I'm just telling you how I feel. So I can't be mad at you for being mad at how I feel, but you also, shouldn't be mad at me for feeling that way. Offending somebody is something you can't avoid, no matter what it is. If you say you believe in something and you have faith in it, there is somebody who believes the exact opposite as you, just as strongly as you feel whatever you feel. So if you're in a position like I am, where your career is based on you having dialogue and telling people how you feel, you can't be worried about running into those people who feel differently than you do, because there's always going to be people who feel differently than you do, no matter what your opinion is.
Because I always wonder about it, because with us doing a podcast and saying, putting out how we feel and what we say, and you see people in the comments saying all sorts of stuff, and some people don't agree with certain things, but that's on the internet.
The comments are hilarious.
But that's on the internet compared to when you're on stage and you're saying something and the person is right there in front of you. Yeah, but that's the
beauty of what we do as comedians and as people who, get on stage and get to have that live dialogue, you kind of remove all of that internet aspect of conversation and dialogue that has been created since the internet existed. Like the speed of information now changes the way that it's consumed. Every 15 to 60 seconds is something new. But when you in that environment where you sit in a room amongst other people, that's been the same since forever. So you able to operate within human nature in a way that you don't get because the internet has stripped us of a lot of that. These things think for us. But when you sitting in front of somebody and you watching a live show, you got to think for yourself. So I think that changes the dynamic a little bit.
Let me ask you something. Like when you basically, you were doing stand-up before you went into Wild 'N Out.
Yes, sir.
How different was it being received, being on TV, being on a cast, than just being in stand-up? How did the people receive you differently?
You got a credit when you get on that television, man. That's what everybody looking for. You're no longer just Chico Bean. You're Chico Bean as seen on. You know what I mean? Like once you get that as seen on something that's a credible, platform, then, it changes dramatically, But what helped me is that I came from the stage. So when I showed up to these shows that people were booking me for, because I was now Chico Bean as seen on, they weren't getting robbed because I'm just taking the money, because how the fuck I'm going to turn down this when, I need this money. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't my sentiment. When I showed up, I was showing up as the person that I was prior to becoming the person that you saw on TV. So that helped me a lot. But you definitely get open-armed a whole lot more than you do when you don't have that credit. That's why everybody looking to get one.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, I know that changed things. That changed the dynamic once you went into that in 2013.
And being able to monetize that is something that, I'm glad that I was able to do. And I think my stand-up, coming in as a stand-up, helped me do that, because a lot of people get that credit and just wait on the credit to bring them something. Like the fact that I had been in the streets and grinding and doing these colleges and going and doing these NACA conventions and all of these different aspects trying to get to it. Once I got that credit, I just took that and did the same shit I was doing without it. So it just got me in the door a little bit faster. So now I can work better. Now I ain't got to go through trying to convince you of who I am or trying to, hey man, check me out. Now you know me. So now we can just get straight to the meat and potatoes of the conversation. And I think that's what helped me tremendously in being able to make the best of that, because Wild 'N Out is a springboard. You know what I mean? It's supposed to elevate you to do something else, and it's always something that you should be able to come back to and work your muscles and, improv and have fun. But if you do it the right way, you can, can make some chicken with what we were given. And the great part about Nick is Nick ain't put us in no 360 deals. So
that's right.
He could have put us in the vicious 360. I mean, he could have big redded the shit out of all of us, and we would have signed it. We would have signed it at that time, especially. So for him not to do that and just say, "Hey man, go spread your wings. I ain't looking for nothing but to see you fly," is a beautiful thing.
I was trying to see like that second season or whatnot, the cutting block. Was it a cutting block stage where you didn't know if you was gonna make it back to?
It's always season? A cutting block.
How was that, and how did you feel when that came down to that?
I'm
early on.
Like
I'm talking about early on now.
STD results, nigga. That shit was scary.
I'm saying.
Like when that was one of the best parts about, just having perspective when the show got canceled during the pandemic. I was like, thank God this didn't happen in 2014. I'd have been sliding down the wall in slow motion crying. Like, why did you give it to me to take it away? It would have been bad. So yeah, it was always like that, man. Them nights when you would be waiting to see when the list of who's on the show tomorrow come out and you waiting to see your name, it was like making a basketball team every day. So it was a different process back then.
What did that build in you when you was just that part right there?
What did it build in you?
It had to build something in you,
Yeah, anxiousness.
Right? Like now you.
When it built in me, paranoia. That's the fuck it built in me. That didn't build nothing positive. Hell nah, niggas.
I thought it made you ready.
Nah, wasn't no patience. You walk around, nah, ain't no more ready than next time you just more nervous. Cause it don't matter how good you do, you're like, yeah, we just gotta work in these new people, baby. We can't use you. You're like, fuck. So yeah, no, it didn't breed nothing. The anxiety, that's what the fuck it bred. A good strong dose of anxiety, baby.
Let me ask you, man, like when Karlous left the show, you know, or when they kicked him off the show, as they like to say, like, how was it with you? For y'all had built a relationship,
man, that's my brother.
So how did you deal with that?
We wasn't going for that shit every day. We was like, Nick, what the fuck going on around here, man?
Oh, y'all was rebelling.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we were rebelling again because we loved what we do. It's not something that we want to sabotage. We're not gonna come fuck the house up because you know what I mean. You didn't took our favorite chair out the motherfucker, but you know what I mean. We gonna let you know, hey nigga,
where my chair?
My chair. You know what I mean? Like it was that type of thing. Myself, Fly, everybody, you know, and we were talking to Nick directly. We all had that conversation with him one-on-one and was like, yo, bro, man, it ain't the same around here. You know what I mean? So if you want me to be the person that you need me to be, man, that presence is necessary around here because we feed each other in that way. We all do, especially the core of us that have been there from the beginning. We all, even if we're not communicating, to look over and see you doing the things that I know you do in this space gives me a level of comfort. And then when you look and that's gone, and there's no real reason why it should be, it make you feel uneasy, and that can change the dynamic of the entire environment. So they saw the value. That's why he came back.
When you seen the show, you really seen a good chemistry through all y'all. I never, when I would look at things, I never seen the issue like that. You know what I mean? Just up front before, you know what I mean? Till it was just very, very much voiced. Like you guys basically, when y'all found out, how did you and DC and Karlous know y'all had this strong chemistry to even be able to step out, right?
I mean, we didn't. God did though, and we just trusted each other well enough to know that we was all feeling the same thing. You know what I mean? When you get that type of situation, it's like something happening right now. We all just at the same time. It's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those type of situations where we all got that same instinctive feeling at the same time that this is something that's going to work, you know, and that was it. It was no way that you could know that something like that was going to happen. We would be lying if we said we planned it because there's no way you can plan this type of shit.
You guys do 85 South, but when y'all first did it, y'all was in this place where they said it was Steve Harvey's building. There was something going on with Steve, and I've heard stories that y'all wasn't even supposed to be over there or something. How did this end up happening?
Why you be acting like? See, this is the thing. Now I gotta address it. You always come with these questions and then act confused, like you don't know. That's why you ask. I hate that interview technique, that interview style. I hate that. Nigga, you definitely know the story. How you wouldn't ask me if you didn't know the story? No,
I ain't know, and I'm gonna get
Mama,
it.
why you be letting this nigga do this shit? I mean, I heard that it was something along the lines, something around the time with Steve Harvey, and I don't know. I don't know. I hadn't listened. I don't know what happened, but I heard y'all was supposed to be in the studio, and y'all wasn't supposed to be over there. Maybe y'all supposed to broke in, and you keep adding elements to let me know you know as you going and asking the question. And they said it was around October 12th, 2016. I don't know the date. I don't know the date, but nah, man. You know, Steve is a you know, Steve is a legend, and Steve, you know, felt like we could do it. And he made sure he put us in position to have to do it ourselves, and that's what we did. I just put it like that. It wasn't no, you know, I think people make, like you said, they're clipping of these podcast clips.
I heard it. Like
niggas be clipping these clips, and then you done heard it. You done did it. You done put out the clip. Not that part, but you done clip it.
That next,
yeah, you gonna clip it up. You gonna clip it up. You know what I mean? You gonna have me to take it in this part, Steve Harvey. Bitch ass nigga. Me rapping. I'm like, what the fuck? Hey, I ain't say that. And then you come back. Well, I heard that when that clip came out, there was a little bit of confusion based around that clip. I don't know. I mean, I didn't put it up. We got somebody we hired to work with us. My wife, I don't know, but you know, but yeah, Steve, man.
You can tell that he really like when you think about it, y'all. You could tell the chemistry was there, that he believed in y'all.
No, like he shows us love, man. And then, you know, all of the kings do. You know, because they were calling us the new kings of comedy. We've never said no shit like that because we don't have to. Like, we don't even feel that's a necessity to be able to label ourselves in any way. But to get that confirmation from all of the ones that are still here, that they look at us and see us as, you know, king-like, you know what I mean, and see us as people who could carry a moniker that was, you know, such a grandiose moniker when they came out with it. And, you know, that's one of the best parts. You know, these are people that we watched on the other side of the game. I say fame is different for me because I grew up in the 90s when the TV was it. when you turned it off, there was nothing to go sit down and look at for another 2.5 hours to see everything that they said on TV again. That didn't exist. So to see these people in person is one thing in itself. Like, I just did Shaq's podcast. Like,
I seen that.
Yeah, I know you did.
It just came out.
I know you seen it. You see everything, but you gonna get on here and act like. Now I heard that something happened with Shaquille O'Neal. Now I don't know what exactly it was.
No researching you, man.
I know.
It just came out.
I just came out.
Watch it.
I didn't. You didn't. I didn't get to that.
I wanted to, but
I see. Look at you. I'm catching you.
But I know you're a big Shaq fan. I know when you came in, it made me like, damn, this nigga finna come over here and cut up, because that's what he do. Because you had a good time when you turn them cameras on. You say, hey man, we starting off, and the white guy said, somebody said, oh, you in trouble.
I love Shaq, man. Shaq is a legend. But this is somebody that I watched, dunk on niggas with the Magic, sitting in my living room, Indian style. To be in their presence. To be in the presence of these people is still surreal to me in a lot of ways, because I come from that old guard of how you had to consume fame. Like, somebody who's a fan of Chico Bean can pick their phone up and just go to their DMs and write me a message.
Yeah.
I love Martin growing up. If I wanted to talk to that nigga, I used to have to write a letter.
Find
hope my mama had find an address to send it to. Hope my mama had a stamp she can spare. Take it, put it in the mailbox, and wait for a reply. And hopefully get one. You know what I mean? And it's like, the way we grew up, nigga might have got in trouble. She go to the mailbox, get the letter from Martin, and never let me see it. Little badass motherfucker ain't gonna know it was just so many ways that you couldn't get in contact with the people on the other side of the box that were on the inside of that television. So to be in this position and come in contact with these people, and not only come in contact with them, but to have them be fans of what I do is nuts to me, man. That's still the most surreal part about all of this for me.
When I looked at his show and seen you on there, I know his other shows, it was a different setting. Like, this was, the guy was on TV and then y'all was lit up a different way. I was like, dang, they in a different, like, Shaq got a different kind of money. I already know that. So ain't no telling what the hell he might do. I might see a spaceship parked in that whole, you know what I'm saying? But like, how was it just being on his set and dealing with
Oh man, it was Shaq is one of the coolest niggas. Like, the human element is the craziest part of this. Like I said, man, when you see that these niggas, like, oh, this is just another nigga. This is a nigga that's just, he big as a motherfucker, but he just, you know what I mean? He talk like to see him in their element, because you get to a level of success, there's certain protocol you got to follow. You don't want to fuck the money up. Because once you get to that money, man, you don't want to fuck the money up. But when you see somebody be who they are and be themselves authentically, that's the best part. Like seeing the how a nigga just be like, man, hey man, look over here, man, hey nigga, just stop doing that goof ass shit. Like, just seeing that type of dialogue of somebody who you've always had to see be behind the camera or be professional, that's the dopest part of being on the other side of the curtain, man.
Well, he said something to Angel Reese about.
See, there it is. Listen, you not slick, man. You not gonna get me.
Viral.
It went viral. I know you.
Listen,
mama, I told you I was gonna get him for you. I told you I was gonna get him for you. She be wanting to have these real in-depth conversations, asking about life stuff, and here you come with the book. So what do you think about what was said? I don't know what he said, but I know he said something to Angel Reese. I don't even know. I was gonna call her Devil Cup.
Then you see it. Everybody seen it.
I thought her name was Devil Cup, not Angel Reese. Reese Cup. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Let me clean it up a little bit. What would it take to get more people to get more into the women's basketball? Watching the sport, getting them more financially set up.
I think we need to appreciate where we are now. Every time, that's the fucked up part about just a lot of stuff. As soon as you get to a point where it's success, then you're like, well, what can we do to make it more successful? Yeah. You don't even appreciate the fact that we're now talking about the WNBA, where 4-5 years ago, you wouldn't even ask that question no matter who Shaq said something to. You know what I'm saying? Like, what Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have done to bring eyes to the NBA is, if you'd have said this to somebody 10 years ago, this is what they would have been asking for. The shit that's happening right now is what they would have requested be the case. So the fact that we are here, appreciate the fact that that's happened. More people are going to continue to watch the WNBA because the conversation has already been started and we're having it now. That's what you want. So I don't think that there's anything extra that needs to be done.
You don't think they need to do nothing with the uniforms?
See what I'm saying? Get your freaky ass on. You're not. No, we're not saying that. That's what you're saying. I've never said anything remotely close, and I'm not going to.
No, I didn't say you.
I don't want to. But like, are you serious? Have you seen these WNBA players? These women are 7 foot tall. Like, what the fuck do you mean they need to change it?
Man,
but listen,
she's coming out.
That's one player. That's one player. That is one player.
Looking dope.
That's one player. Don't alienate the lady that want to wear the suit like Iverson did to the game back in the day. That's fucked up. See this, man? Nah, man.
Chico,
man. You're just trying to alienate the ladies that want to dress. Everybody don't want to come in dressed like Angel Reese.
She looking good.
Angel Reese, she looks wonderful. But Caitlin Clark be having Nike tech suits on like Pooh Shiesty. Is she wrong? I don't want her to not be comfortable so your freaky ass can have a reason to watch basketball.
No, it went
They still playing basketball. Watch the game. You talking about, man, if I can see some titties.
No.
That'll really make this a little bit more better.
That's great. Talk to him, please. Talk to this guy.
If I could just see one nipple, like, doing a foul shot. If they had to, like, show that if that was, like, part of the and then shoot the jumper, but I'd never miss a game. Like, come on, man.
A lot of dudes wouldn't.
See what I'm saying?
A lot of dudes wouldn't.
Hey, man. We're not going, we're not doing that to the ladies, man.
Well,
we're not going to do that.
No,
we're not going to do that to the ladies, man.
The only thing I was going to say, I love the fact that everybody talking about Angel Reese, right?
She bringing it in.
But what I'm saying is that I think that they always do that because back before her, everybody used to talk about Lisa Leslie. That was the name that everybody had on the tip of their tongue when they think about WNBA. So I always think there's one person who always sticks out, and it's good that she's sticking out because she's bringing more views or viewage to the WNBA.
But see, these are all names that you know, but you know what I mean, that it wasn't the viewership wasn't what it is now because of social media and the internet.
Right.
Now we're able to consume a lot more, and you're going to do it naturally. Like, you're not asking Angel Reese to post on Instagram. You're not asking these players. This is what they naturally are going to do. So they're going to draw eyes to it anyway because that's just the lay of the land now.
And people are going to go watch
and people are going to watch the game because, you know, they really balling. You know what I'm saying? And they playing ball now. You know, it's a slower game and all that, but, you know, come on, man. You wouldn't want to be subjected like that to niggas. Like, what if the ladies were like, yeah, man, we want to see the NFL niggas with their dicks out. Now you won't let your wife watch football because the nigga with the big dick, the quarterback, hey, don't look at that. I don't want you to see that. Turn this freak ass shit off. I'm writing Congress. Yeah, but when it's the ladies.
I said, why the men don't go back to wearing them shorts that they used to wear back in the day?
Man, see what I'm saying? See, look, you see how, that's why I refuse to be biased like that. I'm not going to be biased like that. It's where they have places. We already have places you can go see titties. Go pay your stripper girl to dress in a basketball uniform before she get naked if that's what you're looking for. Let the ladies play basketball the way they want to play basketball, man.
Do you think there could be more if they let the goals down a little bit to where they could slam a little bit and do some different stuff?
Man,
like that?
No, I don't necessarily need to see.
You know what I'm saying?
What type of slams are they gonna be doing? That's not like you want to see them come down and no. I want to see. That's not even the nature of the male game anymore. Niggas don't dunk no more. These motherfuckers shooting from half court. So the kid you talking about the old guard. It's not 92 no more, OG. It's over with. Yeah, stop trying to see them niggas get fouled and flagrant two. No, that's over with. That was the 80s. Now we can shoot from the other side of the court.
No, I
don't even watch basketball.
I know we don't watch basketball, but I tell you what, if they was naked on the WNBA games, you'll come in there and be like, again, baby? Yeah, man. Yeah, they get ready to do the thong third. You know what I mean? Yeah, they get ready to do the thong third. Yeah, every third quarter they come out in thongs. I don't miss it. Go in there, if you get my juice out of there.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be a different world.
You'd be one of them.
Yeah, I probably would watch a couple of them. Not like, you know what I'm saying? I come in there. Yeah, it's looking like they got it right this week.
Yeah, I'm talking about, baby, I surprise you. We going to see a WNBA game.
This man is
we going to see what's that WNBA team down here, the Fever?
not. I was gonna say the Sparks. So I don't even know. Wings.
The Wings, yeah. We can go see the Wings.
Yeah, we'd have to check them out.
See what I'm saying?
Man, Chico B, how do you keep going, man? You always got a smile on your face, man. Is it ever a time when you be like in those quiet, still moments? Or?
Every day. You know what I mean? I say this, I've been saying this to a lot of people lately is, life this is a school of life. People like to call it the game of life, but I think it's the school of life. And every day you get a grade. Wow. Some days I get an A+, some days I get a D-, but I never fail.
Wow.
God don't ever let me fail.
He'll never let you down.
He'll never let me fail. You know what I mean? Like as long as I don't fail, I'm good. But it's my job to study. You know what I mean? In the school of life, you got to study, man. You got to give yourself that study time, and that's what I do every day. You know what I mean? I am very, very well in being self-contained, so I take the time out. Like he'll tell you, 97% of the time after my shows, I'm riding around in a circle on the highway just meditating and getting my mind right, because I need that for myself to be able to process all the things that go on in my mind every day. I tell people all the time, the most consistent thing that's going to happen to you in this life is your brain going to talk inside your brain. As we're having this conversation, all of us are having thoughts inside of our mind as we're talking. It's constantly going, and nobody can help you with that but you and God. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give yourself time to be able to have those types of conversations, no matter what you believe in. I don't want to alienate nobody, whether you don't believe in God or not. I do, but if you don't, just give yourself time to talk to the devil. I don't know what you're into, but just give yourself the time to be able to, assess yourself, because self-assessment is something that I don't think people do enough, and I think that if they did, we'd be living in a better place.
When I think about Ali Sadiq, when I had him on, he was like, Ali Sadiq was talking about the fact of when COVID was going down, all the, the internet comments, the guys who was doing that comedy on the internet, that's when they, the regular comic started to get on the internet more. Like, where do you see that now? As is it still as flagrant as it was, like far as the monetizations, just the way that people see the internet comics versus the way the traditional comics were that started like you did?
Man, the Etch-a-Sketch was the iPad at one point. That's the way I look at it. Etch-a-Sketch was the iPad, man. Shit changed.
It keep changing, don't it?
It keep changing, and eventually the iPad gonna be just as irrelevant as the Etch-a-Sketch. You live long enough, you're gonna see it. So that's just what it is. Be grateful of the fact that you was here to be able to see the change happen, and it didn't happen without you. But trying to be mad at the change, you got a fight on your hands, because you can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
You can't stop it. Now, as far as how internet comedians are embraced, I don't even think that's a term anymore. There's no such thing as an internet comedian. It's just all comedy now. That's the way the game has transitioned.
Yeah.
And it's just certain things you got to accept. I'm from Washington, D.C., but I had to accept that the DMV is a term that people are going to use. As frustrated as I am when somebody tell me, oh, you from the DMV? No, Nick, I'm from DC. I can't do it anymore. I'm not fighting it anymore, because I'm fighting against something that I have no control over, and that's change. It's going to consistently happen. So you got to learn how to embrace it. You can keep the old guard in small spaces. Make your house the place you go live back in 2001.
Yeah. You
can do that. That's your right. But when you come out here in the world, you got to adjust, baby. Because if you don't adjust, you ready to get put up out the way.
You're a different type of animal when it comes down to the way that you are as a comic, as a even acting, whatever I've seen you doing. You everything you embody and everything that you come up against. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not like you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen some actors or people try to get into certain things. It take them a little bit, but you're very convincing in the things that you apply.
I believe it. This is my life. Like, I'm not trying to be anybody else. I know that my biggest goal in life is to wake up every day and look in the mirror and be like, hey, nigga.
I'm that nigga.
We got another one. We got another one, Slim. He gave us another one. We get to do it again. You know what I mean? Like, that's my job. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care how you feel about me. That's your right. But I have to make sure that when I look in that mirror, I love what I see every time. That same effort that you put in trying to make other people like you, make sure you like you with that same veracity, and watch the change that happens in your life.
Go ahead.
How do you stay eating healthy and being fit?
Who the fuck I said, hey, don't put no lies out. I am not eating healthy
You
and
don't
being
eat healthy?
fit. No, not at all. It's hard. That's one of the hardest things in the world.
That's what I'm trying to figure out,
It's
because
difficult.
when I hit the road, it's hard.
It's
when I'm at home, it's
difficult.
easy.
Yeah.
But when I'm on the road, it's so hard to eat.
Yeah, it's very
right.
difficult. Yeah, it's hard to eat right because that hunger kick in and make you a little different human being. You know what I mean? And that's the thing.
I patent trying to tell me.
No, not at all. Not when it come to that. Not at all. I wouldn't even get on here and fake like I'm talking about, man. Me and my security was riding. We was on the way from here to Houston. No, from New Orleans to Houston. We was driving. And I seen that nigga get 2 burger dogs out the gas station. And I couldn't judge him because we hadn't ate that day. And that was it. We had been looking for places, pulling over. Everything was closed. We got to that gas station. That nigga said, fuck it. Let me get 2 of them hot dog hamburgers. And I was like, damn, you finna eat the burger dog, nigga? He ate that motherfucker. I was laughing the whole time. He was like, man, I should have got another one. But that's what you end up. Everything's closed. My job don't start till 7:30.
That's real.
So by the time I finish, I'm relegated to whatever the club got. If I don't order something from somewhere else, or I gotta just go to wherever's open. And you know what I mean? Late night food spots, most of the places that's gonna stay open after 10 p.m. is what you don't need.
And you don't work out?
I do from time to
out.
time, but
He box.
it's not. But I'm not consistent in it. We was just having a conversation earlier about the fact that he asked me like, when did it click to me that, you know, a lot of the things that I came to understand in North Carolina when I went to college, and where I say I really became a man, what age did it click for me at? And I was like 23 years old, because that's when I did a real soul search, a real self-reflection, and cut everything off and just tapped into me and making sure that I did everything that I needed to do to become a better human being and a better man. And I've never really applied that to myself physically. You know, when I was young, I was just a super athletic, super can do anything. Then I would work out to be able to stay, you know, not fucked up, like fell off fat like that, where the front band of your drawers start flipping down. Like, I do it. That niggas know that when that front band of them drawers go down slim, it's ugly. It's ugly. So I'm doing whatever I can to not take my pants off and the band of my drawers be wrinkled. Like, nigga, damn, you done sat down and wrinkled the band of your shit. Don't even say Calvin Klein no more. It just say line on the bottom of it, LIEN. That's all you can see. So but I've never really tapped in to that same space that I was able to tap into, that I'm always able to tap into mentally, physically. So that's another thing that I'm challenging myself to do, to be able to see just where I can take myself physically, you know, to see what I can get out of it.
Man,
but eating is the hardest part. That's the hardest part of it. Because, you know, it's like you damn near gotta hire somebody, man. You have to hire somebody to be able to do it for you, because if you don't, you gotta pay somebody to do it. If you really wanna really tap into it, like, you gotta really challenge yourself, because, man, them cookies, man, like cookies,
they good, ain't they?
Man, what? I'm talking about, you ever had them thin Oreos?
Man, them thin ones.
I've had
the
those.
lemon. I like them lemon ones.
I'm talking, man, them right there. I mean, I will sit and watch an episode of Boss Talk and go through a whole
all of them.
row of them motherfuckers.
You didn't even know, like,
oh, man, what I done did. I done
You can't find them everywhere.
No, when you run up on them, you be like, there they go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? For real. Like, hey, let me get 2 of them. And I'm talking about sitting there eating them like chips. You like, man, I done ate 19 cookies. This is ridiculous.
No, chips and salsa is it for me.
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
You
You take that the whole bag, just scooping, dipping. You don't even realizing that you just sitting there just, I can't believe he just sat there and act like he didn't know that Steve Harvey shit. I really need to tell him to stop doing that to people. Just coming in there acting like he confused. You done ate a whole thing of Tostitos. You done sat there and ate a whole Tostitos bag. I feel you. So that's the hard part, man. So I'm really trying to figure out the best possible way to tap into the eating better. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, getting older, man, that shit start to last a lot longer. That bounce back take a little bit longer when you make that bad decision. Like, I'm lactose intolerant. I had some ice cream, man. I'm glad I ain't had nothing to do the next day. I'm glad I didn't have nothing to do the next day.
Ice cream you could have got.
Yeah, but I ain't want that. I ain't want that shit that tastes like it ain't got no lactose. I don't know what it is about lactose that make that shit taste good, but that's the part that make the shit good.
What's
is
your
the
favorite
lactose.
Ice cream?
Huh?
What's your favorite ice cream?
Man, That's a good question. I would have to say they have at what is it? Haagen-Dazs. The places that be in the mall.
Yeah.
They got like a raspberry white chocolate truffle ice cream.
Oh, okay. Never had
every
that one.
time I see one of them, it be calling me like Pookie off New Jack City. I'm talking about calling me like,
That
you can
sounds
get
good.
a scoop. You can get one
Just
scoop,
one
but
scoop.
I know if I do, game over. I'm talking about there
Running
is
through that
nothing
Tasmanian devil
there's
style.
no. I'm wherever
Not
I can
right
go.
away.
And listen, 30 minutes at the most. That's it. And that's the thing. That's a rule of mine. I shit on myself the last time when I was in 7th grade. I made a commitment to myself that day when I had to throw my shoes away that I would never shit on myself again. I will shit anywhere but on myself. So to see me on the highway, oh shit. You know how many places? That's what my fame helps me the most. Is that I can walk in a place, Chico Bean, hey, can I use your bathroom, please? I know you got to say, please, man, please. I did it in Vegas. I fucked around and went to the Haagen-Dazs. That's the last time I had the ice cream. I'm in Vegas. I'm doing some shopping, and that's my favorite place to shop in the world is Vegas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because everything is right
Right
there on
there.
that strip, and you can
Fashion
walk it.
mall,
So I
yeah.
walked down there. They had a Haagen-Dazs sitting right there. It was hot outside. I was like, oh man, let me get me some ice cream. I went and got a scoop of the red what is it? I can't think of the fruit. I think it's white cherry. Yeah, white cherry, white chocolate truffle. I got a scoop of that, and I got a scoop of vanilla to balance it out. And I'm just walking down, just eating it, and I'm feeling good. And I was going to see New Edition, right? So I go change my clothes, jump in the shower, change my clothes, get in the car. I'm driving to the hotel. I'm driving to the where they was at the Venetian. I'm driving to the Venetian, and that shit kicked in. I was like, oh
shit. Right. I forgot.
Oh shit. I had to pull over to the Cosmopolitan and just jump out the car in the valet. I was like, look, man, just charge me whatever. I gotta use the bathroom. He was like, oh, Chico Bean. Oh, I got it, man. Go ahead, man. I'm talking about almost. I always make it, but man, that lactose, man.
Easy.
No, hell no. I'm talking about asshole sound like a Russian nigga. Flugadush. It's like this ain't worth it, man. So I got to figure out the options for the things that I like.
Right.
I think that's the part that's the hardest part. If you can find that substitute or find somebody who know how to make the healthy shit taste like the shit you actually like, then you in the game.
Man, give us one more time. You in Arlington. It's going down.
Yeah.
We going down
You
at
know
the
that too.
Improv. Let's go.
Yeah,
we gonna
we
be
out
there.
here.
We coming
Yes,
through.
y'all always
What
come
can
through.
we expect that we have not, for people who coming out, because I'm sure you're going to have a lot of people
Oh, they
coming out
coming to see
who
you.
has seen you before.
They
What can
always
they
doing it.
expect from this show?
I don't know. That's the good
He
part.
gonna come in there.
I have no idea. Whatever happens,
You don't ever
happens.
pre-plan.
Yeah, I do pre-plan certain stuff. There's certain things that I like to talk about or want to talk about, but there's always something that happens that takes me to a place where I didn't even know we was going tonight. You know what I mean? He'll tell you. It had been so many times where, like when we were just doing the show in D.C., I asked a dude in the front row, I was like, man, what's the craziest part about getting older? And he was like, going to sleep and waking up injured.
He got a point. It
See what I'm
can't
saying?
No, I didn't do nothing yesterday.
They're like,
Why is my damn
damn,
shoulder
OG,
hurting?
you
Yeah.
tore your Achilles in your dreams? And it hurt when you wake up?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, it can be
That's
like
crazy
that.
when you get old. You can't even exercise in your dreams without hurting yourself.
No, you move wrong. You gonna know you move wrong, but you don't remember doing it. It's going down.
That's crazy.
Yes,
man.
sir. It's
And the
going
older
down.
we get, we analyze everything. If you hurt, like for me personally, I can't speak for nobody else. If I hurt somewhere, I'm like, okay, what did I eat yesterday? What did I eat today?
Yeah, what did I do? Yeah, you start thinking
analyze-
about it.
When you're younger, you don't
You don't
analyze
even care.
crap.
Yeah.
You
Think
just
about
move. But as
What
you
did
get
I
older,
eat today? Where did I go today?
You start
it was that
thinking about
whole
that.
bag of
You start to
goddamn
think-
Tostitos. I should have ate
I
that
should've
whole
ate
bag.
Salt ass, hot
That's
touches.
salt.
That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chico Bean, man. We love you, bro. Like, how can people get a hold of you if they trying to look you up?
Man, you know the same way you be getting a hold of me knowing all them questions you want to ask. Put it on the screen. Chico Bean on all platforms. No, you know what? I got a TikTok now. My daughter made me make a TikTok.
Yeah, she doing the
It's
YouTube,
called-
right?
Yeah, she doing the YouTube.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow her YouTube. But my TikTok is Fat Made Me Do It.
That's all.
PHATMADE.
Fat made me do it.
Fat made me do it because that's the only reason I got one.
Thank you so much, man. God bless you, man. And we love you over here at Boss Talk.
I love y'all
Every
too.
time
Y'all
you pull up, we know it's going
you see
down.
how your father always try to reassure you after you ain't been in your life the right way. I love you over here, son.
Bro,
I promise. I've been through a lot
I
myself. You understand?
I gotta ask you something.
Oh,
Why you have on a ring like a wedding ring?
Oh, he
on
cap.
that
He
finger?
cap. Big
And you
cap.
ain't married.
He
You
big
say why I
cap.
have a ring
on that finger.
on this
You
finger?
big cap.
Yes.
Because it's got VS diamonds in it and it look good.
Get me one of them, man.
And it's a way to, the crazy part is this right here is a deterrent in a lot of ways as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I've told you before off camera that, I don't try to talk to women. You'll never see me walk up, hey, sweetheart, that's not who I am. I'm not going to do that. So 10 times out of 10, a woman is coming up to me unless we having general conversation. So this keeps me from having to explain that I don't never want to do this shit. Because it's always an argument. And it's like you hear it, it's like, you got a girlfriend? No, I don't ever want a girlfriend. I don't ever want to be married. I have multiple women that I deal with that, serve different purposes in my life. Wow. This is what the reality is. And now I'm at wherever I'm at having a dispute with a stranger. And it's getting to a point where it's just like, And
some of those females would say, okay, well, I don't want to be your girlfriend. Can I be one of those other women?
Well, yeah, that's then we can keep talking.
In the road, in the lane. That's where you at right there.
Have a seat. Then we can have a discussion, you know what I mean? But
check it.
I think that's something that I always, once I wore it, because I just liked the ring. I didn't even know it was a day. Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't give a fuck. But once I wore it and seen like the way that women would come up to me and say the same thing that you were saying. Right. Also, why you got that ring on? Because I done been very vocal with my perspective for years.
Exactly.
Like, why you got that ring on your finger if you ain't? I'm like, oh.
I like that.
Aha. Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah. Man, I had to. What's crazy is this made me have to cut off a girl I actually dealt with for a long time because she called me and tried me because she seen me with this ring on. I'm like, how dare you, man? How dare you try to question me about something that you know good and goddamn
and
well
she been
ain't
with
the
you
case.
for a while.
Yeah, like you trying me right now. And that's cool, but you'll never do it again.
Wow, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been another great segment of Boss Talk 101, where the bosses talk.
And
You
we
did.
out.
Yeah.